Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Masculinities and Culture by John Beynon. John Beynon explores how masculinities or ways of being a man are anchored in time and place, the products of socio-historical and cultural circumstances. The book examines the emergence of a masculinity fit for empire in the mid of late 19th century and by way of contrast the more recent media driven commercial new man and new lad masculinity. Specific masculinities in specific settings such as prisons, hospitals, and schools are defined by strongly held conceptions of acceptable masculine behavior. Masculinity is not a single or standardized identity, but is better understood as masculinities, reflecting its diverse and fragmented nature. Masculinity is a cultural construct influenced by class, ethnicity, age, sexuality, and other societal factors rather than being biologically determined. The term masculinities highlights how different groups and individuals interpret and perform gender roles in culturally specific ways. Masculinity is a fluid, mobile, and unstable concept that evolves with historical and cultural shifts. Traditional ideals of masculinity, such as physical strength, dominance, and statusm, have been critiqued and deconstructed by feminist and LGBTQ movements. Gender roles, including those associated with masculinity, are not innate but are shaped by societal and cultural forces. Globalization and consumer culture have diversified expressions of masculinity, allowing men to adapt varied roles and lifestyles. Hegemonic masculinity refers to dominant and socially accepted ways of being a man that often marginalize alternative masculinities. Societal institutions and cultural narratives sustain hegemonic masculinity by reinforcing power dynamics and gender norms. The workplace often serves as a site for enacting hegemonic masculinity, where professional success and dominance are tied to masculine identity. Alternative masculinities, such as the new man, who embraces emotional expressiveness and domestic roles, reflect evolving gender expectations. Traditional and alternative masculinities often coexist, creating a dynamic interplay between continuity and change in the concept of masculinity. The Industrial Revolution established a division between public and private spheres, associating men with work and women with domesticity, reinforcing patriarchal structures. The role of men as breadwinners and women as caregivers was historically solidified but has been challenged by socio and economic transformations. The entry of women into the workforce and the decline of traditional industries have disrupted traditional models of masculinity. Post World War periods highlighted the psychological and emotional cost of rigid masculine norms, especially during reintegration into civilian life. Masculinity is a product of specific socio historical conditions rather than a universal or timeless truth. Gender identity intersects with class, ethnicity, and sexual orientation, creating diverse configurations of masculinity. Working class masculinities are often linked to physical labor, toughness, and camaraderie, but these traits can reinforce power hierarchies. Middle class masculinities are associated with professional success, intellectual competence, and emotional restraint, reflecting class based distinctions in masculinity. Racial and ethnic identities intersect with masculinity, producing unique expressions shaped by systemic racism and cultural context. Heteronormative frameworks have historically excluded and stigmatized non heterosexual masculinities, limiting diversity in gender identity. The gay movement has challenged traditional notions of masculinity by promoting alternative expressions despite resistance and commercialization. Performity, as conceptualized by Judith Butler, highlights that masculinity is not innate but a set of socially constructed and enacted behaviors. Consumer culture has commodified masculinity, encouraging men to express their identities through grooming, fashion, and lifestyle products. The rise of the metrosexual man reflects how masculinity has become a site of consumption in contemporary culture. Globalization has introduced transnational business masculinity, characterized by corporate power, egocentrism, and a reduced sense of social responsibility. New forms of masculinity, shaped by globalization and consumerism, blur traditional boundaries while raising ethical concerns about social and environmental justice. Essentialist perspectives that define masculinity in biological terms fail to address the cultural and historical variability of gender. A culturalist approach examines masculinity as a social construct influenced by specific contexts and power of dynamics, allowing for a more nuanced understanding. Masculinity operates with various settings, including schools, workplaces, media, and popular culture, shaped by cultural and societal expectations. Existing research often conflates masculinity with male behavior, creating conceptual challenges for scholars studying gender and identity. The plurality and performativity of masculinity challenge the notion of a singular or fixed identity, highlighting its dynamic and contested nature. Critical inquiry and self realization reflection are essential for understanding how masculinity is experienced and enacted in diverse ways. The document emphasizes the importance of questioning assumptions that masculinity to reimagine gender relations in more exclusive, inclusive, and equitable ways. Masculinity in this book is explored through historical, cultural, and social dimensions, offering a comprehensive framework for understanding its complexities and social implications. This is a short summary of the book. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.